Gel pens, anything gel pens. They had to have glitter. If it didn't have glitter, then like you're useless to me. Okay, this is gonna be a really, really weird answer because it's middle grade fantasy, which is like the complete opposite of what I write, but the Bartimaeus trilogy by Jonathan Stroud, oh my god, phenomenal series. I am in love with Bartimaeus' voice. Any book that has footnotes is like an automatic A+ in my book.
The book that I fall for over and over again is The Count of Monte Cristo. I read it for the first time when I was about 12, and I love to revisit that book every few years, and Edmund's story of love and betrayal and vengeance.
Definitely Little Women, because I've read it so many times that it's basically like my Bible.
So the book I would fall back into time and again, this is silly, you're gonna laugh, but it's The Power of Now. I love that book. It really helps me in times when I'm a little lost and confused. I suggest it to anyone that might feel that way too.
I really love fresh notebooks, and I always start out with this plan to take notes in a super pretty, organized way, but then I usually abandon it.
Probably gel pens in every single color imaginable, and that hasn't changed. I still have a lot of pens in every single color imaginable, and I love to draft using those. I loved composition notebooks, and I still do. Those are my number one go-to item for drafting, and I love to fill up these pages with messy, messy words.
When going back to school as a kid, everything had to also be a toy, right? If it was a pencil case, it had to be a transformer. If it was a pencil, it'd have to have like a bird on the top of it. Anything. I just wanted to play with it, right?
Gel pens, anything gel pens. The cooler the pen, the better. My favorite were like sparkly ones. They had to have glitter. If it didn't have glitter, then like you're useless to me. I don't know, maybe Pokemon cards. I mean, if you didn't have Pokemon cards, like get out. Absolute must have.
Gilbert Blythe from Anne of Green Gables, because everything I know about charming but infuriating boyfriends, I learned from him.
It wasn't so much a bookish crush as a bookish ship. And I fell in love with Anne Shirley and Gilbert Blythe the moment he called her carrots and she broke her slate over his head. And for me, I think that was just the first romantic subplot that I loved in a story as a young reader. So it really stayed with me. And, I still love the childhood friends to lovers trope and rivals to lovers trope. But yeah, I think that all began for me with Anne and Gilbert.
I'm married and I'm still in love with my first book boyfriend, who was Jesse from the Mediator series by Meg Cabot. I maybe read the Mediator series when I was in 6th grade and I have not gotten over him, so that's a problem.
My favorite fall foods are definitely candy corn and those pumpkins that are like candy corn, and also ramen bowls, right? Bowls of noodle, hot bowls of noodles with eggs in them. It feels awful now because it's 80 degrees, but it'll be good soon.
Probably pie, even though I also eat that all year round.
All of the leftover Halloween candy that is technically intended for trick-or-treaters, but between you and me, I definitely buy on purpose an excess of it because I know that I'm gonna eat the rest of it, particularly when I'm crying over deadlines. So
I love a mug of hot chocolate on a cold autumn day. That's my favorite thing. And I have a little coffee shop that I like to visit, and they make really, really good hot chocolate, and I can sit in their big front window and write while I drink it, and I can watch people come and go from my local indie bookshop, which is right across the street. And then, if I get enough writing done, I can reward myself by going over and buying way too many books.
if I had to pick one, it would be Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson, because her writing is gorgeous. And so even if things are absolutely terrifying, at least the world that she's built is gorgeous. And when everything's beautiful, does it really hurt?
I would want to go to Circe's island of Aiaia and live there among the wildflowers and her lionesses and surrounded by the ocean. And I would write, and Circe would teach me witchcraft. and potions and maybe even how to turn really bad men into pigs. That seems like a useful skill to have.
The To All the Boys trilogy, because everything in Laura Jean's world just seems so cozy and comforting.
I can't really think of a book world that I would escape to, but I can quickly think of many TV worlds I'd escape to, including Friday Night Lights or Riverdale or just any fun, dramatic high school TV show. I could just live inside that.